With Yahoo Answers now sadly gone, Quora is the next best thing we have to fall back on for inane questions and answers. Now, I did a video not long ago in which it appeared to be quite smart and snooty, but I went back on recently and it's possible I misjudged it. Whilst this is meant to be a question and answer site for the intelligentsia of society, I had a quick look at some of the questions asked about Shrek, and, well, what's the ogre's name from Shrek? How different would the Shrek series be if Shrek had a mullet? Is Shrek stylish? Is Shrek my daddy? Is Shrek the next prophet? You are able to summon a giant Shrek doll anywhere around the world at this very moment. Where would be the most entertaining place to put it? Luke Bowden, former leader of the Committee of Various War Crimes, has answered. He says, I will wait until a terrorist or another horrible villain is being convicted, or some other person who's committed ghastly crimes has received a death sentence, and then spawn it in their ass. Is Shrek a metaphor? Is Shrek a goblin? Why isn't Shrek a goblin? Was Shrek gay? What does Shrek's feet smell like? Did Rosa Parks watch Shrek, considering she would have had access to it a couple years before she died? Did the Mountain Dew Company invent Shrek? Was McDonald's founded by Shrek? Tina says, oh god damn, that is a fictional fucking cartoon character. This question has been reported and down the delicious forward gives us the option to report a question so mind-numbingly stupid that would never be allowed anywhere. The person who's asked it should never be allowed about in public or the internet ever again. Does Shrek have eyebrows in any of the movies? Yeah, all of them. Is Shrek a vegetable? Is Shrek technically a tree? Does Shrek use photosynthesis? Can someone draw me Shrek but as a therapist? I know it sounds weird. To which someone just said, yeah, sure. Is Shrek a unit? Is Shrek thick? Why is Shrek so THICC? Where's Shrek's star on the Walk of Fame? What if Gummy Worm have a voice like the gingerbread in Shrek? Would you be friends with him? Was Shrek real? Is Shrek based on real life? What does it mean when someone says, if they ever produce a version of Shrek with real people, I know where to go to find the extras? Rohan Brown, who studied at the UB School of Design, says, it means you just got fucking burnt. When is Shrek Day? When is Shrek's birthday? How do you say happy birthday to Shrek? Does Shrek have an Instagram account? Would it be possible for fish to be killed by farts like in Shrek? What do PETA members think of the scene in Shrek where the bird explodes? Is there such a thing as an Asian Shrek? No. How religious is Shrek? Did Shrek believe in God? Is Shrek Jewish? How would the Bible be different if Shrek replaced Jesus? Is Shrek a god? Would a church devoted to worshipping Shrek be exempt from taxation? And if not, why not? Is the Facebook logo copied from Shrek? Well, yeah, I can see what you mean. How many hours of filming did Shrek have? Kyle Andrews says, with the exception of movies that contain stop motion or motion capture, animated movies are not filmed. Well, thanks, Kyle. I wouldn't have known that, Kyle. So everyone say thanks, Kyle, for your answer. Thanks, Kyle. If Shrek is set in the 16th century, then why does the second film have electricity, cameras, microphones, and other somewhat modern technology? Do you think it's possible for a developing fetus to change so drastically from a normal-looking baby to a quote-unquote Shrek baby because its mother was obsessed with the movie? Is Shrek a marine biologist? Was Shrek a Nazi? Who's Shrek? Is Shrek a story about Stockholm Syndrome? What is the plot summary of Shrek? What if a super durable solar-powered laptop containing only Shrek was transported to Rome in 1 AD? Now that is actually a good question and one I was keen to know the answer for, so I went straight onto Omegle's spy mode to ask some strangers. Obviously, it being Omegle, there were a few false starts, but I did eventually get a conversation going. Are you okay? What the fuck? It is an interesting question for sure. Yeah, the perfect icebreaker. They should see Shrek as God, surly. Some do. It would also have sped up our technology significantly. Imagine how the world would have been if everyone believed in Shrek and Shrek only. Pure perfection. The world would be a better place. Stranger one left on that note. Good answer though. Next. Where can I buy Shrek Crocs at? Does it offend some Europeans that all the cats in the Shrek universe are Spanish? Do you ever cry at films? Shrek doesn't count. What would you do if Shrek knocked on your door with a suitcase and said he was going to stay with you for a few weeks? Is Ewan McGregor the brother of Shrek? Can I name my child Shrek? Sure you can, but it would be a horrible thing to do to a defenceless child. Does Shrek eat poop? Can Shrek run fast in movies? Is Shrek and Fiona's relationship toxic? If Shrek and some bread had a baby, what would it look like? Do you think Shrek would tear my buns if I had children with him? Why am I attracted to Shrek? Joshua Bentle, billionaire, says, I don't know. I mean, Shrek is sexy, so that's probably why. Boom. Why is Shrek sexy? Why do I think Shrek is hot? Why am I drooling every time I see Shrek? Do you guys like Shrekvore? What are the most daring photos of the fantasy supermodel Shrek? No answers. What should I do if Shrek visits me during the night? You drank too much last night and woke up next to Shrek. What did you do to get here? James Phoenix, with an honorary degree in postgrad mechanical engineering, design and computer science from Coventry University, gives a massive answer. I've always been obsessed with the character of Doris from Shrek. Her thighs entice me, and I find myself rewatching the scene in Shrek 3 where she exposes her leg. Does anyone have any tips on how to get over this? What do I do with my boyfriend who is obsessed with Shrek roleplay? What is the optimal way to acquire the gorgeously lumpy physique of Shrek? Do you find the the love story in Shrek offensive? Was there a love triangle between Shrek, Donkey and Fiona? Why did Shrek not marry Donkey? How did Donkey and the dragon have sex in Shrek? How did the donkey impregnate a female dragon in the Shrek series? Wasn't there like a depth problem? How were the dronkies in Shrek 2 birthed? Through eggs or just straight up born? Georgia Anderson posits that nobody knows since they're fictional, and if dragons were real, the combination would be impossible, as donkeys and dragons wouldn't share a genome. What is Shrek's brown vest made of? I'm not green. Can I still be like Shrek or Hulk or both? What if Shrek and Hulk stroke Dr. Banner switched their role in each other's movie? What both movie would looks like? Why do I get mad when old people call Hulk Shrek? Who would win if Palpatine invaded Shrek's swamp yelling, "Do it"? Who would win, Shrek or Shaggy? Who would win, Shrek or Peter Griffin? Barney or Shrek? Shrek or Sonic? Shrek or Goliath from the Bible? Curious George or Shrek? Shrek or Mr. Incredible? Tony the Tiger or Shrek? Shrek or Mike Tyson? Shrek or Kung Fu Panda? John Wick, Chuck Norris, Shaggy, Shrek and 12-foot Peppa Pig? If the almighty Shrek and God got into a hand-to-hand combat, who would win? Who would win in a fight between Shrek and the physical embodiment of the existential powers that bind space and time? Who would win in a fight, Shrek or, car? If Shrek had a car, which car would he have? Has anyone ever made a joke about a green car looking like Shrek? Now, hypothetically speaking, what would happen if President Trump decided to send a Shrek meme as a presidential alert? Was Shrek's comment about building a wall around his swamp a parody of Trump? What if Shrek was the first ogre American president? If Donald Trump and Shrek got married, what would they name their kids and how many would they have? Now, that question is such a waste of everyone's time that that's really giving Yahoo Answers a run for its money. Why is the logo for the film Shrek written as Shrek and not Shrek or Shrek? How likely is it that two friends that are chatting with each other on a random subject both at the same time send the exact same picture of Shrek, while afterwards both replying with TF? Well, John Sevelos, who studies psychology and theology at the University of Texas at San Antonio, says pretty likely. What if, after you die, Shrek asks you, "How was my swamp?" One of my younger friends, 17, recently told me around 83 to 87 kids in my town have created a satanic Shrek cult. Should I be scared of it? Obviously, it is sad to see Yahoo Answers go, but maybe Quora not so bad after all.